and I'm just like, girl, you really let yourself go. Like, you were cute in high school, but hey babies, thanks for tuning into my channel. If you're new, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. Today, as you can tell by the title, today's video is going to be an advice to my younger self. I've been wanting to do this video for a while now, you know, to my notebook. My handy dandy notebook is right here. And I just felt a little weird, a little off today. It's like, I don't know. I think it's about to be that time, or it is about to be that time of the month, so I feel a little weird, and I just felt like today's like the perfect day to just like be a little bit vulnerable and, you know, get into the video. So before we get into the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Make sure you hit that bell and turn your post notifications on. That's why you don't miss when I post. And yeah, if you want to just watch a video about advice to my younger self, advice to yourself if you're younger, or, you know, I don't know. Also comment some things that, you know, you wish that your younger self would have known as well. And yeah, so if you want to see and learn more about this video, then keep on watching and let's get into it. Alright, so advice to my younger self. The first thing I would want my younger self to know is that everything is temporary. Like, even my older self now, I have to remind myself that nothing is permanent. Things change every day. And just to remember that, you know, everything is temporary. So don't let the small things really get to you, because, you know, tough times won't last. And I feel like ups and downs in life is what keeps us balanced. And it reminds us to remember, you know, the things that are really important to us. So if you have a low, remember that low when you're super high. That way you know you're not going back there, or that, you know, things change and that you can go higher, and vice versa. Like when you're at a low, you have to remember those highs to keep you going, keep you motivated and stuff like that. So yeah. The second thing that I would tell my younger self is to follow your passion. Like whatever that is, whatever that looks like to you. I just feel like and I'm not trying to put anyone down, but my family is more so traditional. So like all I've ever known is go to college, you know, finish school, get a good job, have a career in that field, and that's life. You know, get married, have kids, whatever. No one in my family is really doing or has the same like goals and aspirations that I do. And, you know, I'm so glad that I did go to college. I wouldn't change that at all. But it was just kind of like, for example, I remember when I was younger, and I really was like a ambitious child. Like I had huge dreams. I love dreaming and daydreaming and doodling, and I just dreamed big. And I would change my career that I wanted to do almost every day. And like my grandma was really good at letting me like express those things. So like I'm like, I want to be a journalist. We'd go out and get a little tape recorder, and she let me interview her. If I wanted to be a vet at one point. So I would, you know, I wanted to be a lawyer. I wanted to be all of these things. But I do remember specifically one time I wanted to be a model, right? And this is, I was like really young, and I remember like my grandma used to be like, oh, you know, like show them like your model walk or whatever. And then like one of my family members are like, no, you're not gonna be a model. Oh, that was loud. That scared me. But yeah, anyways, one of my family members, they were like, no, you're not gonna be a model. You're gonna go to school. You're gonna get a good job. No modeling. And I was just like that stuck with me for the longest. I didn't think that I could do it. Like I didn't think I was cute enough, or I didn't think that I was, what's the word, like model-esque enough. I don't know. I just didn't think I could do it. And then actually my senior year in college is when I kind of explored it. I ended up joining a modeling troupe, and that's where my whole modeling thing began. So I know that was a little off topic, kind of like a long story, but yeah, I just wanted to say, like, just follow your passion and don't let anyone like get you down on those things, because I just feel like when you know at a young age that anything is possible and that it's okay to dream big, that you just open yourself up to so much more. I have no regrets. I'm like doing what I love now, and I'm learning that myself, which is like awesome. But just one thing that I know I want to teach my kids is, you know, follow your dreams. Whatever they feel like they want to do, we're going to explore it. I want them to be able to find their passion as early as possible, so that they can, you know, perfect their craft and just be able to live in that that dream moment and know that dreams can become reality, and it's not so far-fetched to think that you can actually become what you want to be when you're a child, you know. Another thing that I would definitely tell my younger self would be, don't focus too much on your peers. And when I say that, I mean in every single aspect of that, right? So like physically, that's a big thing when you're a kid. You see, you know, your classmate already developing, they have boobs or they have super long hair. It's really easy when you're like growing up to feel like you're behind, or like that's what you want to be. So I wouldn't focus too much on your peers and what they're doing, and kind of just like start at a young age, like learning yourself and focusing on yourself and what you like and how you want to look. Like if you want your hair a certain way, I know it's harder, you know, depending on what your home situation is like, but you know, try to explore the best way you can, still staying a child. Because I know my parents, like, I couldn't straighten or do my hair for a long time when I was a kid. So I just mean to try to do it the best way that you can, and maybe like talk to your parents or whoever is your guardian about that, and let them know like specifically what would make you feel better about yourself or happier, and just like focus on you. And I also, I mean, especially in like middle school and high school, like honestly, if you're in high school right now, I promise you that's gonna be like the least of your worries. Like, and I don't mean this in a negative way, but you probably won't be friends with the same friends that you're with in high school. There's no like cliques and the people that look the best in high school and they peak at high school, they're probably fat and ugly right now. Okay, I'm just saying, like, I did used to get bullied in middle school and high school. That's another story. But I just look back, like some of them are like friends on Facebook, and I'm just like, girl, you really let yourself go. Like, you were cute in high school, but yeah, I am so glad that I did not peak in high school, because I'm peaked now, okay, period. Anyways, the next thing that I would say to my younger self, little baby Jazz, is to live in the moment. And again, these are also things that I'm still telling myself now, but just that I wish I knew younger, so I can kind of like, you know, be on it now. But yeah, live in the moment. I know it's harder now with social media probably than it was then when I was younger, but I was just so busy like looking into the future. Like I said before, I had big dreams, big plans for my future, so I was always just like daydreaming, kind of like fantasizing about what my future life would be, which is amazing to do sometimes, but you just don't want to get lost in daydreaming and forget about what's happening now. Because sometimes I look back and I'm like, oh, I remember when I did this, or I remember when I used to hang out with these people and stuff like that. So just live in the moment as best as you can, because like I said before in the beginning, everything is temporary. So why not live that specific moment that you're in to the fullest, you know what I'm saying? Another thing is, you are good enough. All right, you are good enough, whatever that means to you. You do not have to change yourself for anyone. You're perfect the way that you are, and you're good enough. Like, I love you the way that you are. Don't change for anyone, and that's it. Another thing I would tell myself is, as a child, I was very like shy, like way more shy than I am now. Very introverted, very afraid of things. I still actually don't know why. Maybe I should go to therapy, figure that out. I will one day eventually. Anyways, yeah, I just feel like another thing would be, if you want something, ask. And I know everyone knows that saying, like, closed mouths don't get fed, and that's 100% true. Now I have a hard time asking those hard questions, or like really saying what I need or what I want sometimes. It's so annoying, because I know that I should do better, but it's just more difficult trying to relearn these things as an adult. So yeah, advice to my younger self would definitely be like, speak up. If you want something, you have to ask for it, and if you don't get it, fine, but at least you ask, you know what I'm saying? Rolling right into that, another one would be to always say how you feel. Good, bad, indifferent. Like, I have a bad habit of thinking that nothing matters. Like, I don't give a fuck, they don't give a fuck, don't matter, they know what they did to me, whatever. But no, you need to let people know how you feel, no matter how they take it, because at the end of the day, you don't want to like hold something in trying to keep the peace, and you're just stirring up more toxicity, more drama, because you're not speaking up how you feel. Nonverbal say it all. So even if you're not saying exactly, you know, like, hey, something's up, or this bothered me when you did this, it's still brewing in the air. 9 times out of 10 it's going to come out eventually later at the wrong time. So why not just be like as healthy as possible and express those feelings and emotions and let it be, let it free, let it fly, whatever. Another tip or another piece of advice I would give my younger self would be to, you know, be a little selfish. Put your feelings first. And yeah, I said a little selfish. I'm not like telling anyone to be a spoiled brat or anything, but your feelings are valid. You should come first, especially in your younger years, because as you get older you meet people, and then, you know, you really get involved in like real friendships and real relationships and family members, and you're not going to be number one, you know, kids. So be as selfish as possible as early as possible, because that is not going to last forever, and your feelings are going to end up going on the back burner eventually, I'm sure, especially like I said, when you have a family. So just, you know, younger self, put yourself first and put your feelings first. Another thing is be consistent in anything that you do. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I was a quitter. I was a little bit of a quitter, but like anything that was like too difficult or maybe a little uncomfortable, I'm out. Like I quit. That goes for relationships, friendships, sports, after school activities, anything like that. Like if it was too much for me, I just quit. And I kind of, you know, in the moment I was glad that my parents weren't like super forceful. Like of course they would try like, oh, you need to stay and, you know, don't quit and stuff like that, but then eventually they would give in. So I just feel like it didn't teach me consistency, and I'm still working on that today. I have a hard time of like staying in places or doing things that make me a little bit uncomfortable, and yeah, you need to be uncomfortable sometimes to grow. So I would just say to my younger self is just be a little bit more consistent, try a little bit harder, push a little bit further. And you know, these pieces of advice that I'm giving you guys and telling my younger self is because the earlier this starts, the easier it will be. And I'm, like I said, I'm relearning and reteaching myself these things now, and I'm like more stuck in my ways. So I'm just trying to, you know, shed some light and give you guys some tools to help you succeed the best way possible, because I want us all to win. Okay, a few more. So another thing kind of dealing with that would also be to step out of my comfort zone a little bit. Like I said, anything that made me too uncomfortable, your girl's out, period. I'm not staying, I'm not pushing myself, I'm not trying any more than I have to. Like I gave it a shot, I didn't like it, what do I need to do this for, you know? And it's not more so about the task or like the sport that it was, versus just being consistent and actually like stepping out of my comfort zone for that moment, you know what I'm saying? So just try new things, because this is also something when you get older, you don't want to not try new things, or you don't want to be the only person that doesn't want to participate in certain things because you're ignorant, you know? Now if you know better, you do better, and I'm giving you guys the knowledge so that you know and that you do. Another thing I would tell my younger self would be that it always works out. Like, and I don't know if that's because I'm very spiritual, like I believe in God, but whatever you believe in, the universe, or you know, whatever you pray to, the higher power, it's always going to work out for you. And that's really how I feel. Like I have everything happens for a reason tattooed on the inside of my arm, because I genuinely feel that. And I know sometimes it's hard to remember that in the moment, but I feel like everything always works out 100%, 110%. So like I said earlier, don't stress the small stuff, because it's going to work out in the end. And just remember that and keep your faith, because God got us. Another thing would be life is a marathon. Life is not a sprint, it's a marathon. So take every moment as it comes, live in the moment, know that it's a journey, and that you want to like experience that journey in its fullest, because that's going to give you something to talk about, girl. That's going to give you something to reflect on. So I know ups and downs, and like I said, take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt, but because I know how hard it is in the moment, and for me to just be spewing out this information like, oh, let's do this, let's do that. But it's like these things are to help you. So no matter how a little bit difficult, you know, they could be, in the long run it's gonna work out, and it's gonna help you guys get through this marathon or journey that we call life. Okay, and the last and final thing, and this little piece of advice that I would give myself, my younger self, would be to be patient. Like I said, life's a marathon, so everything's not going to be happening like this, like that. Like, you're not just going to wake up like, oh, I want to do this, and then it happened, or I want to do that, and then it happened. It's like with manifestation or anything, you have to be patient, you have to have faith, you have to trust that the process is going to work out. and everything is going to come together in the end. Okay, so just be patient, stay consistent. And yes, so that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This was kind of like therapeutic for me. Like, I feel like you know, like that feeling that you get like after you've been crying, it's just like a relief. That's how I feel. I feel like I just did some yoga or something. But yes, like I said, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, which I know that you did, please give it a thumbs up for me, and don't forget to subscribe, please. It'll help me out. Yeah, that's it for this video. Thanks for tuning to another video. Thanks for tuning in to another video. I love you, my babies, and I will definitely see you on my next one. Bye.